The year is 2016, a year that would mark a significant turning point in the global fight against drug cartels. The world watched in disbelief as breaking news flashed across screens worldwide. Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, the world's most notorious drug lord, was captured. Again. This time, it felt different. His legend, built on daring escapes and ruthless ambition, seemed invincible. He had escaped from maximum security prisons not once, but twice, making him a symbol of defiance. But this time, the game had changed. Authorities had learned from past mistakes and were determined to ensure he would not escape again. El Chapo's capture sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld. Cartel members were left in disarray, unsure of their next move. It was a symbolic victory for the Mexican government, long plagued by corruption and cartel violence. Officials hailed it as a triumph of justice and a step towards restoring order. It signaled a potential turning point in the war on drugs. But at what cost? The streets were still rife with violence, and the power vacuum left by El Chapo's capture threatened to unleash further chaos. The man who had evaded capture for decades, slipping through tunnels and outsmarting authorities, was finally brought to his knees. His era of dominance seemed to be over. The Sinaloa Cartel, the once mighty empire he built on cocaine and bloodshed, teetered on the edge of collapse. Its future was uncertain, and its members were in hiding. The question was, what would rise from its ashes? Would a new leader emerge to take El Chapo's place? Or would this be the beginning of the end for the cartel's reign of terror? To understand the fall, we must revisit the rise. The story of the Sinaloa Cartel is one of ambition, power, and relentless pursuit of dominance. The Sinaloa Cartel, born in the sun-baked mountains of rural Mexico, was never destined for obscurity. From its inception, it was clear that this organization was different, marked by a unique blend of audacity and cunning. It rose from humble origins, fueled by the insatiable demand for narcotics north of the border. The cartel capitalized on the lucrative drug trade, establishing sophisticated smuggling routes and networks. At its helm was El Chapo, a man of peasant stock who climbed the ranks with ruthless efficiency. His journey from a small-time trafficker to the most wanted drug lord in the world is the stuff of legend. He was a master of logistics, a cunning strategist, and a brutal enforcer. El Chapo's ability to outmaneuver law enforcement and rival cartels alike was unparalleled. Under his leadership, the cartel grew into a global behemoth. They expanded their operations far beyond Mexico, infiltrating markets in the United States, Europe, and even Asia. Their tentacles stretched across continents, their product poisoning communities. The Sinaloa Cartel's influence was felt in every corner of the globe, leaving a trail of addiction and destruction. They trafficked tons of cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine. The sheer volume of drugs they moved was staggering, making them one of the most powerful criminal organizations in history. They corrupted officials, terrorized rivals, and left a trail of blood in their wake. Their reign seemed untouchable, with a network of bribery and violence that ensured their dominance. But every empire, no matter how vast, eventually crumbles. The Sinaloa Cartel's story is a testament to the inevitable decline that follows unchecked power and ambition. The pursuit of El Chapo was relentless. It spanned years and continents, involving countless law enforcement agencies. The DEA, the FBI, and Mexican authorities worked tirelessly, driven by a shared goal to dismantle the cartel. They utilized cutting-edge technology, from satellite surveillance to signal intercepts. They cultivated informants within the cartel's ranks, risking their lives to feed crucial information. It was a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, with lives hanging in the balance. Each close call, each narrow escape, fueled their determination. They knew that capturing El Chapo wouldn't be the end, but it was a crucial blow, a symbol that even the most powerful criminals weren't beyond the reach of justice. A house divided internal strife and shifting alliances. El Chapo's capture created a power vacuum. The Sinaloa Cartel, once a monolithic entity, fractured. Lieutenants jostled for control, each vying to become the new kingpin. Alliances shifted like desert sands, old scores were settled, and violence erupted. His sons, known as Los Chapitos, sought to inherit their father's empire, but they faced challenges from within. Ismael El Mayo Zambada, El Chapo's longtime partner, was a powerful contender. He commanded respect and loyalty, having evaded capture for decades. The cartel descended into chaos, a self-inflicted wound that would prove difficult to heal. It was a testament to the volatile nature of criminal organizations, where loyalty was a fleeting commodity and betrayal was always a heartbeat away. United Front international collaboration seals the cartel's fate. The Sinaloa Cartel's internal struggle presented a golden opportunity for law enforcement. International cooperation became paramount, intelligence was shared, resources were pooled, and coordinated raids were carried out. The United States, Mexico, and other countries recognized the shared threat posed by the cartel. They understood that dismantling such a vast criminal network required a united front. This collaboration proved crucial in exploiting the cartel's vulnerabilities. Joint operations targeted the cartel's financial infrastructure, seizing assets and disrupting their ability to launder money. Key smuggling routes were shut down and shipments of narcotics were intercepted. The cartel's grip on power, once absolute, began to weaken. Shifting sands, the cartel after El Chapo. The arrest of Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán marked a significant turning point in the history of Mexico's drug cartels. His capture and subsequent imprisonment left a power vacuum that many were eager to fill. With El Chapo behind bars and the cartel fractured, the landscape of Mexico's criminal underworld changed. The once dominant Sinaloa Cartel found itself in a precarious position, struggling to maintain its grip on the drug trade. The Sinaloa Cartel, while weakened, proved resilient. Its members, seasoned by years of conflict and survival, adapted to the new reality. They reorganized, forming smaller, more agile units to evade law enforcement and rival cartels. It wasn't just one organization, but a hydra-headed monster, capable of adapting and surviving. Each time a head was cut off, new ones emerged, more cunning and ruthless than before. New cartels emerged, vying for control of the lucrative drug trade. These groups, often splinter factions of the old guard, brought fresh blood and new tactics to the ongoing battle for dominance. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel, known for its extreme violence, became a major player. Their brutal methods and willingness to engage in open conflict with authorities set them apart, making them one of the most feared organizations in Mexico. The battle for territory intensified, leading to a surge in violence across Mexico. Cities and towns became battlegrounds, with innocent civilians often caught in the crossfire. The government's efforts to restore order were met with fierce resistance. The war on drugs continued, but the enemy had evolved. Cartels adopted new technologies and methods, making it harder for law enforcement to track and dismantle their operations. The stakes were higher, and the tactics more sophisticated. The takedown of El Chapo, while significant, was just one battle in a long and brutal war. His capture was a symbolic victory, but the fight against organized crime was far from over. The cartels, like a resilient virus, adapted and continued their operations. The fight against organized crime required a multifaceted approach, addressing the root causes of drug trafficking and providing viable alternatives to those caught in its web. Community programs, rehabilitation centers, and educational initiatives played crucial roles in this ongoing struggle, offering hope for a future free from the grip of the cartels.